This month, Gaijin announced the new changes of the BR. Beside the aircraft, this will also affect the ground forces. Until a few days ago, the 76mm American Jumbo was supposed to change from 6.0 to 6.3. But just a few days later, the Jumbo disappeared from the list. So the BR will stay at 6.0 for realistic battles. At least so far. Within the last few days, I read a lot of comments and posts whether this would have been a good or a bad decision. And since the M4A3E2 76mm Jumbo is one of my favorite tanks, I want to share my thoughts on this topic as well. Welcome to my new video. We are watching a video of a match I had in the Jumbo. The BR of the match was at 6.7 and with the current BR of the Jumbo at 6.0 almost a full up tier match. When we consider the proposed BR change to 6.3, this would have been the kind of match the Jumbo would regularly have and also with the enemies you would have. To be fair, I have to mention that the crew that I use on the Jumbo is trained very well, and I also aced it. So this match may not represent the usual experience. In my opinion, the Jumbo is one of the best heavy tanks of the game. This is why I haven't felt the urge to make a guide on this tank yet. By now I already made a lot of guides for tanks like the Tiger H1, the Tiger E, the Tiger 2P, Tiger 2H, IS-2 and so on and so forth. At the end of the day there was a learning curve with each of those tanks in which I had to learn how to play them. At their corresponding BR I never had problems, but the moment the match was 0.3 higher I first made a lot of mistakes. I did not have this experience with the Jumbo at all. Even at a BR 6.3 I would recommend to brawl with this tank. Those who know my videos know I don't usually recommend to brawl, so this is big. Before we dive deeper into the discussion, let's have a look at some of the stats of the Jumbo. It has a penetration value of up to 149mm at point blank and the reload time is 5.9 seconds with an aced crew. The maximum forward speed is 36 km per hour and although it has a weak side armor, the front plate is able to bounce some shots when angled. So make sure not to expose your side. Those are all good, yet the biggest plus is the stabilized gun and the gun depression. This means you have the speed to get to some good positions on the map early and you can even go hull down, since the enemies the Jumbo will face probably won't have a stabilizer at this BR and because of your reload speed you have a huge advantage. At a BR 6.0 I use the Jumbo to flank in full up tier matches and don't have any problems in doing so. The stabilizer allows you to peek out of the cover and aim at the weak spots of the enemy very fast. This is also another point I have to mention. Most of the enemies I face in the Jumbo have a huge weak spot at the commander's hatch. When I face a punter from the front I always aim at the commander's hatch. The explosive filling of the shell takes out the crew in the turret in one shot. This also counts for the IS-2, IS-1 and Tiger H1. Even the front turret of the Tiger 2P is no problem for the Jumbo. Some other tanks may be more difficult to destroy, but the mobility and fast reload of the Jumbo help in that situation. Okay, let's discuss if the Jumbo would have done well at a BR 6.3. Let's have a look at it from the perspective of another nation. I also like to play the Tiger H1 and the Tiger E. I have to admit that I like those intense fights when I am hull down with the Tiger E and have to use APCR to take out some crew members of the hostile Jumbo. When I play the Tiger H1 at 5.3 I can't brawl a Jumbo because the BR is 0.7 higher than mine. With the punters, the Jumbo only is a problem when it is hull down or when it uses the stabilizer to its advantage and shoots on my commander's hatch. The Tiger 2P at 6.3 may have a problem due to the weak turret front and the Tiger 2H doesn't have to worry about the Jumbo at all when facing it frontally. When I now consider all the experience I have from my other guides and the matches I played in the Jumbo, then it feels like the Jumbo might have done well at 6.3. I'm not saying that I support the proposed changes, but I can see why they considered it. As I mentioned earlier, I never had problems at a corresponding BR, but as soon as the match was 0.3 higher, it got tough. It would probably feel the same way to play the Jumbo with a BR of 6.3 when I think about playing versus the Tiger 2H, which has a BR of 6.7 for example. Another little insight. At the moment I try to make a guide for the T34. At its BR at 6.3 it is amazing and can even brawl despite being a medium tank. It also only has up to 160mm of penetration. The moment the match is 0.3 higher than your BR, it is getting difficult and you have to use another strategy. This is just my experience so far with the matches I played in the 76mm Jumbo and what I think about this topic. I'm curious about what you guys think, let me know in the comments. Let's have a final look at this match. The BR was at 6.7. In this match I never faced an enemy at a BR 6.7, but a lot around the BR, in average 6.0, some at 6.3 and some at 5.7. 10 enemy tanks were destroyed by me and I survived until the end. A beautiful match with the 76mm Jumbo, and that's not even unusual. I hope you enjoyed this video, even if the topic is controversial. Like, subscribe and leave a comment if you want to, and check out my Discord server for more information and to connect with other players. Hope to see you in game soon.